Hey, this is Tim with Transition Outdoors. I love shopping for great deals on quality outdoors gear. Let's take a look around Sierra at Easton in Columbus, Ohio on the week of June 2nd, 2024. This is going to be kind of a longer video than normal, so bear with me because there's a lot to look over today. Got the Night Eyes carabiners, only $2.99 for these bigger red ones, but $3.50 for the smaller ones that are locking. These are a good deal. I use a bunch of these for different things. They're pretty great items. Got a lot of hammocks, lots of Eagle's Nest Outfitters. Hammocks are some of the best out there. $34.99. It's an okay deal. It's certainly better than retail, better than Amazon. Lots of different sleeping pads all over the place mixed in with these hammocks. Be some good deals on there in the Climate Static V. Again, your normal reminder that if you are buying your camp stove fuel anywhere else, you are overpaying. You can get these 8-ounce cans from GSI for just $4. These bigger red cans look like they're 16-ounce cans. They had a different company name on them that I wasn't terribly familiar with, but pretty good deal for the money. I believe this is Olympia brand. It's got a little bear there. Those looked like they would be just fine. Down here we've got some Jetboil cans in the biggest size available for $8. This is a really good deal. It's hard to find these for anything cheaper than this anywhere else. See some food jars there made by a couple of different companies, and this North Face Homestead Superdome tent, $179.99, normally $300 according to the tag. I'm sure you can find it a little bit cheaper than $300, but $179 seems like a big deal. Very colorful, maybe not for everybody. Lots of inexpensive bowls. These MSR bowls are nice and cheap, $4 each. MSR is a good quality brand, but again, my favorite, Sea to Summit. There's the Delta plates down on the bottom, still $4. They've got a few of these left in stock. Some GSI basic camping plates. These are great for car camping. They're really nice plates. They're only $3. Don't pay anything more for these types of camping items if you can help it. They're just overpriced. Found another North Face tent. This is another Homestead Superdome 4. This one's in a much better color. It's $199. Great for families. It comes in a really big bag. What I really liked about this tent and just the bag is it looks like it would actually be easy to get the tent back in the original bag, which is not normal. Lots of good sleeping bags, but most were synthetic fill. They had this nice Gregory day pack for $59.99. Nice little deal there. And a few other good brands, a few other good packs, but a lot of the backpacks here the last couple of months have been mostly either the biggest hiking packs or commuter day packs, stuff you'd use with your laptop to take things to work. But they did have some good deals on hats. They had some interesting branded hats from the national parks, but I also found some Cotopaxi items at Sierra today. $14.99 for a Cotopaxi hat. They had a couple of different hats from Cotopaxi in stock, which was pretty surprising. It can be hard to find Cotopaxi at Sierra. $169.99 for Camelback Chill Pack. This was a Hydro Flask Chill Pack of $60, a little bit cheaper, probably a better deal. The Marmot Catalyst 3P tent. I saw these at the other store as well. These are a really great tent for the money, only $80. It's a 3-person tent. They're only about 6.5 pounds. What a good deal. This is really kind of the find of the week, I think, at this store. These are just great tents. They come in, they're pretty fun colors. They're a little bit loud. I believe they're orange and kind of ocean blue on the bug netting. They had several of these tents, and what a great deal. Lots of the eggshell foam style Z-fold mattresses for sleeping pads, but nothing great. Just the normal kind of cheaper stuff, but those work pretty well. Lots of synthetic sleeping bags. They did have this nice Wasatch 20 North Face bag. Again, a lot of these are synthetic. If you're gonna spend $60 or $70 on a synthetic sleeping bag, it might as well be a North Face rather than one of the other brands. This one was only $50, which was a great buy. And here is a 20-degree synthetic North Face bag, $80. I think the other one was probably the better buy. They did have a one down of these bags. One North Face Eco Trail down. It was a regular length. These bags, I own a couple of these. They're really excellent value for money. Yes, they are a little more expensive than the synthetic, but they pack so much smaller. That's your big advantage of down bags versus anything else. Camelback winter pack. This was $50. This is a winter pack. This was something you would use while you're skiing, and it's a little off season, so you get a better deal on it. Really nice construction on this pack. I was very pleased with it. Down in the clearance section, they had Burn skiing helmets. These are very, very pricey ski helmets that you'll often see in downhill resorts. And they had a couple of these in different sizes. I thought it was worth mentioning that if you don't mind buying gear off season, you can pick up some good deals. They had these Sol packable portable tents for $15, little lanterns, emergency lanterns, very inexpensive, $7. I don't know if these are any good. I know the Sol brand is good for, emergency items, thermal blankets and things like that. A couple of little day packs, $29. Nothing really super interesting in all this, but they did have titanium sporks for only $10. And while that doesn't seem like a great deal, it is a pretty good deal because these typically run $12 to $15. So they can be a little more expensive than that. Sorry about the video being sideways there. Here's a few more of the Burn snow helmets for a good deal, only $49 for these helmets cost a lot of money. Retail, or if you're on the resort and you end up buying one, it's well worth the cost. Just a few times using it, it's cheaper than rental. Climate Navigator, $39 on clearance. Nice little synthetic sleeping bag, pretty good quality from the Climate stuff here lately. I've seen some good things. I've seen a little bit of mixed reviews on some of their items, but it generally works out okay. Here's another Cotopaxi hat for only $15. This is a 5-panel traditional hat, probably most likely seen in Bozeman, Montana, but it's a cool hat and I liked it a lot. There was a North Face for $15 in orange, nice hat. More of the Cotopaxi hats. It's surprising how many Cotopaxi hats they had in stock at this location. One thing that I saw a lot of were bucket hats. The shoe section was pretty underwhelming. They did have these nice, kind of very colorful, fun Tevas over in the men's section, size 11. Price was okay. It's just rare to see stuff like this in Sierra, the Tevas. $49.99. Not a great deal. Compare at $70. These compare at tags are often actually lower than what you'll see them for online. They did have some Brooks running shoes for reasonable prices, $69, $79, when they typically run a lot higher. These were a pretty neat pair of shoes, but they were kind of an unfortunate stumble for me because Zero Exposure kind of seems to be a cheaper brand. They did have these very interesting mint-colored Salomons. Saloman's just a great shoe. They make great hiking and running shoes. However, some questionable color choices were made. Some Merrell sandals, a few other nice looking pairs of shoes. These Teva high ankle boots, $60 in dark olive. These looked really, really well made. Actually really light. Again, no one should buy Crocs ever, but they always have a lot of them at Sierra. So if you happen to need Crocs, they will have some for you. They definitely had several pairs of these mint-colored Salomons and some bright-colored New Balance running shoes, running all the way up to size 13. It's kind of harder to find sizes above 13 at Sierra, but they do have them occasionally. Some Adidas Terex. These had a continental sole on the bottom, like the tire company. I've seen these around. I do actually own a pair of Adidas Terex trail riding shoes, and I'm actually quite happy with them. They're a great value for money when you catch them on sale. These were only $49.99. You can even sometimes catch the Adidas Terex cheaper on eBay if you look around. Brand new from Adidas factory. Some really colorful Brooks again for $59.99. And they actually had some Nike Huarache baseball cleats. Don't see these a lot at Sierra. Don't see them a lot anywhere for a discount. Except they do tend to filter into the TGX family brands occasionally. So if you need some baseball cleats in the off season to get them a size bigger for your kid. Some Columbia trail shoes, $40. These were very bubbly and bulbous looking, kind of fun colors though. Really actually feel very nice, very light. Nice shoe. And we'll take a closer look at those. You can see just it's very shiny and it's kind of an interesting shoe. I'm not surprised at the design that they ended up here. They may not have sold as many. Did have some nice Saucony trail running shoes, Saucony Peregrines, and a few other Saucony trail running shoes. Really great shoes with lots of grip. The lugs on the bottom are excellent. The wear is pretty good. I don't see a lot of information about them on the internet and how they compare against things like Altras, but they are, pretty good shoes. And again, I own a pair of Saucony Peregrines. Fairly happy with them. You just got to watch the fit a little bit. They tend to run a little bit small, I think. Again, more Ultras. These are getting, kind of long in the tooth. These are the Ultra Outroads, $69.99. It's a little bit of a high price for the several pairs in pumpkin orange they had, but if you don't mind the color and you're used to paying $130 for any pair of Ultra, which is what they kind of run in the retail space, then it's probably a pretty good buy. They had a surprising amount of Brooks shoes in stock in both men's and women's on this day, the weekend of June 2nd. There's another pair of Ultra Outroads in a more mustard yellow color. They're just kind of all over the place. If you scan around, you're going to find a lot of good deals on Brooks and Ultra shoes. Over in the front of the store, they had a Yakima bike rack, $429 for the Stage 2. These are a pretty good bike rack. I really don't think you should buy bike racks brand new if you can help it, because they're almost always good quality ones on Facebook Marketplace. But if you are going to buy them at Sierra, because they're just a better deal. They did have a Ceres trunk style bike rack, whereas the other one was a hitch mount style. The price on it wasn't great. It was $129. You can probably do better. And the way I feel about bike racks is if they're well reviewed, it doesn't really matter as much what brand they are. Lots of different bicycle accessories, water bottle cages, and things like that. Starting to get a little bit low on inventory on some of the cycling stuff, but there's still quite a bit there. Over in the women's section, lots of different shorts, but they got a big shipment of North Face stuff that apparently didn't sell. So these are really, really nice North Face women's shorts for $10 in the clearance section. Really good buy. Everything else was just kind of the normal black kind of yoga shorts, yoga pants, but they've had a surprisingly good amount of North Face Under Armour shorts recently. Over in the display case by the checkout, we've got some Soleus watches, lots of knives again. They've got several bear sprays still at $29.99 a piece, which is a really good deal. You should always buy your bear spray at Sierra if you can. Some interesting Zippo fire starting multi-tool. It's kind of interesting, might be worth looking up and seeing if that would be a good deal. Although I find that knives are just best as knives, and anytime they're advertised as being more than knives, they're not really good at anything that they say they do, including being a knife. If you need a bucket hat for kayaking, they have it. They also had a lot of straw hats and a lot of life preservers for boating. There were several boat and beach and water items kind of gathered up towards the front of the store. A lot of it was kind of piled up and it wasn't in the best organization. They did have some nice director's chairs. Some of these were on clearance. Lots of towels of different colors and brands. I saw some Nike towels. Those very high-end Nomadics towels were available. They also have these Hurley towels that are very small microfiber towels. They're only about $10. I own several of these. I'm super happy with those. They've got many different options for keeping your phone dry out on the kayak. They did have Blackstones. I don't know that I've ever seen these larger style Blackstones at Sierra before. I think they had the 36-inch and the 28-inch. The prices were not super obvious. You kind of had to scan down the side. Like there's a Solo stove for $149, which seemed like a good deal compared to retail. But seeing Blackstones at Sierra, based upon what you see them selling for in retail stores, they're probably a good buy. So if you're looking for a Blackstone, looks like $199 for the small one, probably is around $249 for the larger one. Totally worth picking these up if you're in the market for them. It's not really an impulse buy. They definitely had lots of colorful water bottles. Yet again, the watermelon colored Nalgene bottles. These are getting a little bit full. They had a lot of different options and a little bit full, so you might be worth watching the clearance section later. When things get a little full like this, they will tend to clearance some of that stuff out. I think as we kind of look down the row, lots more camping stuff kind of out front and center on display in the center of the camping section in its own little table. A lot of it isn't particularly great or useful. You do have to be careful about watching that. They will take stock and inventory from Walmart brands. The little Solo Mesa stove for $60, they sell for a lot more. Something I was really interested to find were tailgate protectors for mountain bikes or just bicycles in general. These were Dakine tailgate protectors for bicycles on the backs of pickup trucks on the tailgate. You see these a lot out on the mountain bike trails and in various places. They're only $99.99. Seemed like a really good deal because these tend to run for a lot more money in other places. Definitely worth a look. They did have the Night Eyes Can Jam. These are kind of ratcheting straps or securing straps for your roof rack, kayaks, things like that. They've got rubber protectors on the back to protect the items that you are strapping down, which is great for kayaks and other things that you might be strapping on your roof rack. They came in a lot of different lengths and colors of the protective side, and they were only about between $8 and $20, depending if you bought a single or a double and what length they were. These are good, high quality compression, kind of friction style straps to be used on your roof rack. Would not trust these with lots and lots of weight, like motorcycles, dirt bikes, things like that. But for recreational use, they're colorful, they protect the items that you're trying to secure to the roof rack, and they work well. And we've come back around to the sleeping pads and the other different hammocks in different colors. Definitely still worth a look to pick these up, but I was really focusing in on a couple of different items in here. These Eno Traveler hammocks are a lot cheaper than the other Eno hammocks that are available, and they're good hammocks. I own one, but I would go ahead and go for the single nest or the double nest. Spend a little bit extra money and get yourself one of those. This was just kind of an inexpensive chair for $39.99. Not a huge fan, not a great brand. You got to be careful with the brands that you see. They did have Black Diamond Distance Carbon trekking poles. Now these would be ultralight trekking poles that are kind of more for your long distance runners, people who are going to do a lot of trail running in terrain where those poles might come into play. These are super light and only $50 a pair. I thought that was a great deal. They did have some Lucky trekking poles as well. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that name right, but you do see these out there. They're pretty good quality. $100, super duper light, really high quality poles. These were a tri-fold. They fold into 3 pieces. These can, rather than collapsible poles, these can take up a lot less space. However, it does make them a little harder to attach to your pack. Also, if you are not buying your camp food at Sierra, especially backpacking foods like these, you're kind of missing out and probably overpaying. They have almost every brand that you can think of, from the inexpensive Mountain House to O'Neill's to ReadyWise. There's just so many different options. It's so much in one place. It just goes on and on and on forever. The amount of freeze-dried, dehydrated camp foods that you can buy, so many different flavors. You can get them in different serving sizes, breakfast, lunch, and dinner versions of all the different ones. Mountain House obviously is probably one of the best and biggest known companies, but it can be a little bit bland compared to some of the others. It's definitely worth coming to buy them there if you're going to stock up and enjoy, because you will pay almost double for some of those items. Did have a neat little camping shovel there. It didn't seem very useful. These hammock straps are great for hanging these hammocks. They're only 10 bucks. They're great tree straps. They're not light. It's not something I would want to be using a lot in the backpack. Again, these multi-tool type shovels, not very good. Now I found some more Cotopaxi. This was a Cotopaxi Mari crop top. Kind of has like a women's crop top with a built-in bra. It's only 20 bucks. These were really a lot more expensive online at one point in time. Looks like the retail on them $60. This one was in raspberry color. Really great buy there. Lots of Cotopaxi stuff in the women's sections today. Worth looking at. They had those in multiple different sizes. Right as we go to the checkout, lots of black diamond headlamps. The boxes are a little banged up. They did have some with rechargeable batteries and some that require AA's, some that can even do both. Some of these headlamps are marked for climbing. They might not be for everybody, especially if you're just going to use them for hiking or maybe mountain biking or something like that, or as an emergency backup. Thanks for shopping with me at Sierra today. Please remember that I am not affiliated with Sierra or the TJX parent company in any way. I just love finding great deals on quality outdoors gear and sharing what I find with you. Thanks for watching.